The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello children, hope you are all doing good and safe at home. It's after a long break I meet you in this virtual platform. Hope you remember the second unit what we are dealing with right now. It is words and deeds. To that unit with the third lesson we are moving with, and without much delay let me begin my today's session. Are you ready to join me? Yes, of course you will be. I am sure about it. Yes. Life is a mixture of pleasure and pain, and all men are mortal. But we trust and have strong faith that we are born here to be permanent forever. Is it true? No, the fact is not the same. We will have to quit this place at any moment or any time when our name is called or when our turn comes. But in the meantime, we have got a good lot of opportunity to do actions either good or bad. If we do good things, people remember us, and if we do bad, people curse us even in our absence. All the mistaken deeds can never be rectified later. So, what is necessary is that we will have to be so careful and conscious while doing actions. Yes, you are right, action speaks louder than words. Whether you are born great, rich or poor or weak or strong, nothing bothers in the hands of death. No matter how you lived, what achievements you gained, in the hands of death you are made equal. And no shield can protect us from the hands of death. Death is an equalizer in whose eyes everybody is equal. It levels everyone. Don't you agree with that? It is an impartial judge. Okay. So, is it possible to survive death? Because nobody likes to turn the page of death. Even at the deathbed, you may go for asking one more day, isn't it? So, nobody likes to turn that heavy page of death. We need to live here forever, isn't it? So, in such a case, is it possible to survive death? All people have to die. But there is also a chance and possibility to survive death. How? It is with your righteous deeds that you can blossom from the dust of your grave. You will be remembered ever in this earth. So to the poem, Death the Leveler. Shall we see what it tries to teach us? It is a poem by James Shirley. Death the Leveler is a funeral song, and it initiates people to introspect their actions, introspect their behavior, and it tries to give a knowledge that life in this earth is temporal, not permanent. Death shows no discrimination to anyone in this earth, whether you are rich or poor, strong or weak. You'll be carried off by the hands of death. All the kings and clowns, illiterates or literates, one day have to surrender their head to the strong hands of this death, putting all their achievements in vain. See children, actually we will have to agree with the fact that everybody should die one or the other day. But your actions of good deeds, justice, will speak for you from the grave like an aroma and make you alive even after your death. So, shall we start to do actions of justice, to live here in permanence? So, shall we see what the poem reads? Okay. Yes, it is with death the leveler. We'll begin with no delay. Okay. Deeds speak louder than words. Good deeds will be remembered forever. Here's a poem which tells us about the glory of deeds. Read on. The glories of our blood and state are shadows and not substantial things. There is no armor against fate. Death lays his icy hand on kings. Scepter and crown must tumble down, and in the dust be equal made with a poor crooked scythe and spade. Some men with sword may reap the field and plant fresh laurels where they kill, but their strong nerves at last must yield, they tame but one another still. Early or late, they stoop to fate, and must give up their murmuring breath when they, pale captives, creep to death. The garlands wither on your brow, then boast no more your mighty deeds. Upon death's purple altar now, see where the victim bleeds. Your heads must come to the cold tomb. Only the actions of just smell sweet and blossom in their dust. This is what the poem is. The main thing is that survival of death is possible only by doing good deeds. So it begins. So here death, the leveler. You have seen leveler? It equals the ups and downs. It equals the ground. It makes everything equal. So death turns to be the leveler. It levels what? It levels so many things. So death turns to be the effective evaluation of human nature. We all speak about some doomsday, right? The day of judgment, where our good and bad actions will be calculated, and according to that we will be sent to heaven or hell. But actually heaven and hell, everything is in this earth. So here death changes itself to be the effective evaluation of human nature. If you do good things, people will remember you forever. If you do bad things, they will curse you. See, everywhere you can see discriminations. You belong to a high societal family, or you are an official. You have a privilege of doing all the things. But poor people, they are denied with so many opportunities as they are born poor. Kings can do certain things. Rulers, politicians, Everybody take their own chances to exploit this earth. But in the hands of nature, in the hands of death, nobody can escape. Nobody can escape from the hands of death. Is it possible? You may escape from the hands of the judgment of police or the court. But from the hands of death, that is beyond our reach. Until now, nobody has studied or found how to escape this death. One or the other day, it is for sure that you are going to surrender yourself. So, such a powerful person is the death. Only in front of death, everybody is scared with, because it is impartial. It is so truthful, very justice. Okay, so here, death takes up a charge to level so many things on this earth. So don't boast about your life right now. It may change at any time. Nobody is sure or hopeful about the next moment. So don't boast about your life at this present situation. Everything is temporal. It may vanish or perish at any moment. The beauty, the garlands or the appreciation, achievements. Okay, so the glories of our blood and state are shadows, not substantial things. Substantial things, strong things. They are not permanent. They are not strong. The glories of our blood and state, blood family. Might be you hail from a very reputed family. A family that is with richness or name or position. Might be a high official. All these things are like shadows. Shadows? Can you feel the shadow? It is not permanent. You cannot feel it, isn't it? It is like shadows. Not substantial things. They are not permanent. They may perish very soon. In the name of all these things, your family, your state, your position, your richness, don't boast of. Okay. They are all like shadows. There is no armor against fate. Armor, weapon. Weapon, there is no weapon, no shield against this fate. Fate, fate of our life, destiny. F is capital. Fate, F is capital, so fate is so important. So nothing can act against your fate or destiny that is towards your death. Nobody can help you to escape from the hands of death. There is no weapon. Death lays his icy hand on kings. Death, D, death is capital, death, it is so important. Lays his icy hand on kings. Icy hand on kings is personification. Human qualities is attributed to death. Okay, lays his icy hands. Icy hands are cruel, unkind hands, because death we don't like. So, at any moment, this death will come and lay its cruel hand over you. Scepter and crown must tumble down. So what? You have to beware about it. So at any moment, death will come and lay his icy hands, cruel hands over you. And what may happen? Until all these days we are boasting about your richness, your family, your status, your position, your designation, your reputation. And all these things, that scepter and crown are the symbols of king. King, the superior person of a community or a group. So it is the symbols. So it speaks about the kings. Instead of directly telling king, he has used the symbols or the things used by the kings. Scepter and crown must tumble down. Tumble down should fall down. Fall down, surrender. All these things are turned to be useless. Scepter is a staff that a king carries as a symbol of power. Crown, you know, that he wears to show his royalty. And here crown and down turns to be the rhyming couplet. So here the rhyming couplet, you know, crown and down. Crown symbolizes the king and down symbolizes the poor people. So king is superior. Okay, so scepter and crown must tumble down and in the dust be equal made with a poor crooked scythe and spade. See, during the lifetime you may be a rich person. Death never minds about all those things. But after death you are made to dust with all these people, poor people whom you have not respected during your lifetime, whom you have kept aloof. You took a distance from them, saying that they are poor and you are rich. But after death what happens is you will have to accept this harsh reality that you will be made to dust along with those people. Who? With poor, crooked scythe and spade. Here again the symbol scythe and spade. Scythe is a tool used for reaping. Spade is used for digging. So who uses these things? It is farmers, a common man. So once when we are living, you thought that you are so superior to them and you did not mind helping them or supporting them or having a good look or smile to them. But after death, it is so pitiable that you are made to dust along with those people. Can you demand a special place for you after death? No. After death you become useless. They start speaking about when are you going to be evacuated from the house. Until then, with respect they would have spoke about Mr. So and so, Dr. So and so, something with respect and honor. But after death, it turns to be a body, like a lifeless thing. The reputation, the honors, the achievements that you gained for within a second becomes useless once when you stop breathing. Okay, so it says that death levels the gap between the rich and the poor. It is so powerful that it can even lay its icy hands over the kings. A justified true person who is impartial in his duty, where he sees everybody equal, is death. Rich or the poor, he doesn't mind about it. In this pandemic situation, it is very quite real. You might be rich or poor. It affects everyone, isn't it? So, you should be careful about this. When you are doing action, think that you are a tiniest particle in this world. You belong to this earth and the earth doesn't belong to you as a whole. You are a tiny speck. So once when you do actions, be careful. If you want to live here, permanently start doing good actions, because death is a very powerful person to whom you will have to surrender, though you are very rich and poor. Rich people can make things very easily throwing money. But in the hands of death, they cannot request, see, I come after 2 days. I am quite busy signing my agreement for tomorrow's project. No, it's not possible. The moment it comes, yes, you will have to put down your head. Death is the only thing that is very impartial in this earth, that treats everyone equal. And when coming to the next stanza, some men with swords may reap the field and plant fresh laurels where they kill. This next stanza is about strong and the weak. People who bully others think that they are born to live here forever and rule others. But it is not the same. And poor people, they tremble with fear in front of these bullying. Strong people, those who show muscular power and threaten others. But it is not the same. Might be some men with swords may reap the field. Swords are using to reap the field, and these strong, powerful people may reap the heads in the battle, in the war field. They might have reaped so many heads in the battlefield, war field. Is it that they can live here forever? That's what the poet says. No. Some men with swords may reap the field. They might have reaped the heads like reaping the field, and plant fresh laurels where they kill. So they would have turned the fields, planting fresh flowers as an honor for their victory, boasting about their courage and killing people. But those people also should have in their mind, but their strong nerves at last must yield. Those courageous people also, when their turn comes, should surrender. Their nerves may become weak after a long time. So these courageous people, the strong nerves, the people with strong nerves, the courageous people who have reaped the heads of so many people in the war field, like reaping the field, should also come down one day to surrender them in the hands of this painful death. At last must yield. At last. Where are you going? What are you going to gain in this earth, killing so many people? Nothing more, only death. You will have to yield, surrender in the hands of this death. They tame but one another still. Like beasts, like animals, they fight with each other. People, they fight with each other, not knowing that one day they are also going to be killed by somebody else. They teach, they learn, they kill like animals, not knowing that early or late they stoop to fate. Stoop, submit, surrender, bowing down. Early or late they should stoop to fate. Today is his turn and tomorrow is going to be my turn. If it is today me, tomorrow you. Nobody is going to be permanent here in this earth other than nature. So early or late, they stoop to fate. Fate is again death. And must give up their murmuring breath, groaning at the time of your death, like fighting with death. Death pulls you there and showing your courage, you are coming back to this earth, living here, you don't want to die. So there is a war between you and death. You struggle a lot to stay back in this earth for permanent. But it doesn't happen. They must give up their murmuring breath, grumbling breath. People who are in deathbed, they have a groaning sound, struggling to breathe. It is a struggle between life and death, isn't it? At last, you will have to give up that grumbling breath when they, pale captives, creep to death. Death is so powerful, and finally it overrules you and takes you under its custody as prisoners. Pale captives, prisoners, no other go. You struggle, you fight for your life for so long time, and finally you will have to give up your grumbling breath and surrender yourself as pale captives, prisoners in the hands of this death. So, no matter how rich you were or how poor you were, you are going to be made dust as equal as the other person. And might be you are strong enough to kill thousands of people like reaping the harvest, but don't forget that you will have to be a captive in the hands of death one day. Such a very strong factor is death. The garlands wither on your brow. Now the final stanza turns to be so personal to us. On your brow. To all the people who read. The garlands wither on your brow, then boast no more your mighty deeds. So at the deathbed, after death, what happens is you will be decorated with garlands as well as like crowns, isn't it? So here it is the honoring, the decoration that is made to the dead body. So these things, this garlands, your crowns, everything will wither and dry one day. But it's compared to the achievements, your honors, your titles that you have gained. Okay, the garlands wither on your brow in front of your eyes, such a great person, a handsome guy or a beautiful lady who are so powerful in all the deeds and actions, but now lying dead. The honors and titles, reputation, name, fame, what all the person has gained is vain. The garland wither on your brow. The garland that you have kept, the crown that is kept on your forehead will wither, will be dried. Then boast no more your mighty deeds. Once when you are dead, nobody speaks of your honors. Nobody boasts about you. So many people would have come behind you for the sake of their own personal benefit. But after death, nobody is going to be behind you. Nobody will take charge of joining you even in the journey of your death. We are alone, all alone. So we have to think how we have to live. Then boast no more your mighty deeds. Nobody is going to speak about your power or your greatness or your richness or even about your strength. It is all gone upon the death's purple altar now. Death's purple altar is related to the religious place, a holy place. Death's purple altar. Why purple? Purple is a color which connects with no emotion. Here it's with no emotion. We will have to accept the truth. And even this color represents when you are dead, shedding your blood on the ground, it turns to a purple color. Okay, so upon the death's purple altar now, no sentiments here. Might be your close friend, might be your parents or your better half, whoever it might be, close friend. Now, nobody will take up your chance in place of you to surrender in the hands of death. That is the ultimate truth. We should know about it. Upon the death's purple altar now, with no emotion, we will have to face the truth. Yes, what to do next? See where the victim bleeds. This is the only place where the victim bleeds. Victor, victorious person. Victim, the prisoner who has failed. So normally, the victim only has to bleed, but here in the hands of death, in front of death, the impartial death, even victorious person should surrender. Okay, so see where the victim bleeds. Both the people, victorious people and the victims, should have to face the same fate at the end. At the end of the day, everybody should meet or undergo the same phase of life, turning to the page of death. Your heads must come down. Your heads must come to the cold tomb. Maybe you are a victorious person or victim. I don't bother about it. Death doesn't bother about it. Might be you are victorious or you are defeated. But you must surrender yourself to the cold tomb. Cold tomb, grave. Tomb, you know, cold, no action, no life. When there is no life, when it is still, it is cold. No warmth you can feel there. So it is cold tomb, lifeless tomb. Only the actions of just smell sweet and blossom in their dust. So amidst all these things, what we feel is that, what we need is that, we need to live forever. There are so many great people who live even right now after their death. Great saints, great people. How do we remember such people? Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Swami Nirmalananda Yogi, Brahmananda Swami, Shiva Yogi. Few people I have mentioned. How do we remember them? Is it because we have lived along with them? No. Their actions, they have done good deeds for people to remember. Okay, your heads must come to the cold tomb. Only the actions of just smell sweet and blossom in their dust. So now you are dead, you are gone, you are lifeless. Nobody is there along with you. So I remember a short story where, if I am right, it is Alexander the Great. You know, he is a great warrior who conquered almost everything. But even he surrendered to the hands of death, and he wanted people to know that he took nothing in his hands after his death. So he said his coffin should be like putting his hands outside the coffin, to show people that even after conquering this whole earth, he takes nothing in his hand. So nothing will follow you other than the good deeds. So here only the actions of just, what is just? Justice, good deeds, only will smell sweet and blossom in their dust. You are made to ashes, or you are made to soil or dust. But from there, like a phoenix, what can come? Your good deeds can smell like an aroma and make people live through your good deeds. So now we have understood that survival of death is also possible only with doing good deeds or good actions. See, we feel that what we experience or see in this world is very true. No, World respects people only who do justice, just and good deeds. World respects only the person who stand along with the righteous side, and only good things are remembered. You can turn to be famous or notorious, it is left to you. If you turn to be famous, your good deeds will speak for you. If you turn to be notorious, people will curse you. Which is better? You choose yourself. So out of the dust, only good deeds should blossom out and speak for you after death. And then you live forever in this earth. And your dream has come true to live ever in this earth, showing your good deeds. So, here death turns to be a good leveler that levels. There is no discrimination between rich and the poor, as we have said earlier, a strong or the weak, or illiterate or literate, or king or a clown, nobody else. Everything, kings, everybody is equal in the hands of death. Okay. So, what should we start doing is that let us not boast about our status or life or our color or caste or creed or political party we belong to, nothing else. Start doing your good deeds. Okay? Let us see what are the figures of speech used in this poem. I know you are familiar with alliteration, assonance and all those things, simile, metaphor, personification, oxymoron and metonym. And oxymoron and metonym are the two figures of speech that you are going to learn very new here. Okay, so let us see what oxymoron is. And the next thing is metonym. Let us see what metonym is. For example, here it is scepter, crown, crooked scythe and spade, isn't it? That are the examples for metonymy, that is the symbols that is used instead of the other thing that is very closely associated with. So here, instead of speaking about king directly, he has used, the writer has, poet has used scepter and crown. Instead of speaking about farmers directly, he has said scythe and spade. Okay. And then comes metaphor and personification. Metaphor, you know, a word or expression used to describe somebody or something in the way that is different from its normal use. Here it is. The glories of our, from your poetry, the glories of our blood and state are shadows. Glories of our blood are shadows. It is temporal. That is one metaphor. And again, actions of just smell sweet. That is also a metaphor. Okay. And then when it comes to personification. Personification, you know. What is it? Giving human attributes to an inanimate object. That is the icy hand on kings. Death lays his icy hand on kings. Icy hand, cruel hands of death. Okay, on kings. And one more, victor, victim is also an oxymoron. So, these are the figures of speech, and I hope this funeral song, Death the Leveler, has given you a great life lesson to you that we should start doing good deeds, good actions, as action speaks louder than words, and only the good deeds are remembered forever. Okay? And the activity for you is, you can do the activities from page 68, 69 and 70, even appreciation too. Okay, stay happy and healthy. Until I meet you next time, it's bye from me. Thank you.